Well, Chiefs fans, it's starting to heat up. The Chiefs are starting to get active before the trade deadline, and there's one in particular that's going on. Now, this was a rumor a couple, 3-4 days ago, and you know that during the season, I generally don't screw around with rumors because most of it is fan made up or blogger made up or some YouTube channel made stuff up just to have content. But this is actually growing legs, and as we go on, we know they had some contact before the season, and it couldn't work out a contract. And that really, I think, was the sticking point, is the money, is the contractual terms. And Melvin Ingram did end up signing in Pittsburgh. I believe it's a 1-year, $4 million deal, 1.5 in cap space. So very, very economical. In fact, as I understood it at the time, quite a bit less than what the Chiefs had actually offered. In the meantime, Chiefs have stacked up a couple other contracts, including Josh Gordon, and they are very, very low on cap space. But we heard today that there is actually an offer made to the Pittsburgh Steelers to acquire Melvin Ingram before the trade deadline. We don't know what that is, but what it is leading towards is that they are prepared to do what they have to do, to bolster the pass rush. So they do see the same thing, the same emergency need at the position, because were you to acquire Ingram, whether it's a trade or if he's eventually released, we'll see what happens. That allows you to kick Chris Jones back in pass rush situations into the inside and allows you to have a four-man front that is formidable talent, although on the older side, outside of Chris Jones, but a formidable four-man pass rush. That is a good reason to do it. So it's a plus that they're recognizing the need, which has been pretty quiet on that front this entire season. I haven't heard a whole lot of acknowledgement of that need. B, it's also a good sign that they are willing to work around what could be a cap constraint there. So that means that they're willing to either move another player to offload some cap space, make a release, do something that they would have to do in order to, A, make that kind of trade work, as well as giving them a little bit of reserve space for future injuries, guys that they'll have to make additional signings for in the future. It also explains why they haven't filled the 53-man spot from Jody Fortson's injury. That makes sense that they've been working on this for a little bit. And now this is well out of the rumor phase. This is actually news. The problem, the sticking point is, and you hear us talk about this every offseason, whether it's free agency or postseason, it's very, very difficult to get another AFC opponent, especially a team that sees themselves as either being good or being an ascending team, to trade talent to the Chiefs. And the actual headline from Didi Kinkabala, I think is how you pronounce it, was that they specifically, the Steelers, said that they really don't want to trade to another AFC team, particularly the Kansas City Chiefs. So that goes a long way. Now, that doesn't mean that the deal's done or that there's out of scope. It means that the compensation has got to be really, really good, and that might be an issue. The question will then become, what does Brett Veach and Andy Reid want to give for that kind of deal? Yes, it is a need. It's a pretty significant need at this point in the season. Does that mean you're willing to give up draft picks that are maybe quite a bit higher than you may have been interested in, say, 3-4 days ago when you made this offer? The fact that an offer is there, to me, says that they're open to the negotiation because they see the need. Now, there are some other rumors out there that I won't address yet. Yes, they could acquire a corner. That would be a good acquisition. I don't know about the availability or of anyone that can actually upgrade them. But it allows you to change the defense a little bit. And all these acquisitions, whether they're rumor or whether this Ingram thing actually gains some traction, they're all about restoring, rebuilding, rejuvenating the defense. And that makes perfect sense. The offense is going to have to take care of itself, and it's going to have to get itself back on track. But this is going to be key. So when it comes down to it, very positive sign that they're willing to make a deal, that they are making offers on players that can actually come in and likely help them. Now, Melvin Ingram is kind of frustrated and wants out of Pittsburgh because of the fact that his playtime has decreased. They had injuries, and TJ Watt in particular, has come back. And so that's cutting into Melvin Ingram's reps. Here as an end, he would have more pass rush opportunity, more playtime opportunity. And at the end of the day, if it comes down to the deadline and no one else is making a decent offer, the Steelers will be faced with this decision. They can either say, no, we're not going to trade him to the Chiefs. We're not going to trade him to another AFC team, period. and end up having to release him or have a disgruntled player that I think can actually cause some trouble in the locker room, or they're going to have to bite the bullet and take the offer that's on the table, even if it is from an AFC team, even if it is from the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't know that this is going to change anything dramatically soon, but I think as we approach the deadline itself, which is the 2nd, we're going to find out more and more. There's going to be some fallout there. I'll have a response to the trade deadline. Dan will have his normal video on Tuesday night, but this is getting a little bit more complicated in both a positive and a negative way. If you put it out there that you're looking for talent on the defensive side, it sends a message to the locker room that you already have, and it also sends a message to the other teams that you recognize your deficiencies, and that allows them to exploit them just a little bit more. So this is a two-edged sword. But now that it's out, let's hope that they can get something done, get a fresh set of legs in there, somebody who clearly hasn't been playing as much as he thinks he can, and should be able to come in and at least provide some relief, some additional pass rush that I think they desperately need right now. This is going to be an up and down, ebb and flow kind of thing, and if we get more updates, I'll definitely have some kind of crash video like this for you. Make sure you like, sub, and hit the bell notification if you're not one of our regulars already. And if you are, Seth might have more for this on CITN tonight. I will not be on that show, but we'll have more as the weekend goes through, and then we'll be preparing for Monday night. So hope you guys got this. Enjoy the rumors, and know that this is no longer just a rumor. This is actually going on. So let's see what happens. Hope you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you next time.